there's a church and specifically a very well-known male choir in Chicago that takes at-risk youths, kind of like an old school like 90s movie.
Right.
And
Diddy's house, it's called.
Well, that's the thing. And
you gotta put an egg up your ass.
Well, that's the thing. And apparently they were serving these young boys up, and there was allegations that Obama was partaking of these forbidden fruits. And then there was
he got trained that way, I'm sure, from birth to be go both ways.
There was a drive-by shooting in Chicago, and sprayed the houses, and this kid who was about to do the deposition on Obama got hit with like 3 bullets. Everything else was a spray.
Oh, a Hillary Clinton situation.
And the cops were like, well, it's a gang shooting.
It sounds like a Bill Clinton, Arkansas origin, but for Obama. Everybody's got these shady origins.
Well, dude, I mean, he just had a 6'3" chef drown in 3 feet of water, right? Like, well, the guy couldn't swim paddleboarding.
You got to be dressed when you're paddleboarding.
Can he sit up?
I mean, common mistake.
You know, it's
very kill messy. My chef in my mind every day.
That was a weird thing, right? Didn't he write about making love? Obama wrote about making love to men.
Yeah. Mike McRae would do an impression of him, and this, if I was Obama, I would use this as a valid excuse. If I addressed it at all, I would go, "Yeah, I'm trying to bang a chick with pink hair and a nose ring. You know how it is."
Well, he said that too. He said the only reason I read Marx is to bang chicks. I'm like, what kind of fucking chicks are you?
I love that. Yeah. Look.
Yeah, the hot ones.
Yeah. The super smoke shows.
The real Sydney Sweeneys.
I love that he was just trying to
quote Das Kapital to me, baby. Fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, that word on the street is he met Michael at a socialist rally. Michelle.
Right?
Yeah, Michelle Obama.
Yeah, I believe it. You know.
Well, but they're all gay. That's the thing, and it's across the
Milo
board.
Yiannopoulos, Nick Fuentes.
Why are they all
Graham?
Same archetype?
Why are they all gay? Well, I attribute it to the other J word, which is the Jesuits.
The Jesuits?
Yeah, Jesuits. You know about the Jesuits, right?
Yeah.
They make people gay?
Oh, my, yes.
Well, that explains my dad.
Is your dad gay?
Is he Jesuit?
No, but
does he wear little round glasses?
With the Fordham. I don't know. The Jesuit college.
But you still got to be like a chosen. The Bene Gesserit.
Saying my dad wasn't good enough to be gay, bro?
I don't know your father. Look, I'm not gay. I don't know your family. The Jesuit look. It's called with the little round. Fauci has the Jesuit look. Yeah. The little round glasses and that haircut, and like normally you have the outfit too, but it's all like a form of George Soros NGO, but not necessarily from George Soros. All these things are the same fucking thing.
Is this the Natalie Turner was trying to tell me about who's really running the world, and it was like this Templar family in Spain, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like
a Templar family.
Yeah, the papal families, and the strongest one is actually based out of Spain, and they can,
okay, that's like you watch mafia podcasts, and like some of them are better than others, but there's no way you're gonna get the day-to-day politics of that. Probably accurate. However, the basic structure has been out for quite some time, and you could find it easily. Like Fritz Springmeier's got all them books on it. People get hung up on little details of titles and shit, but I wouldn't. I just want to understand the structure, and all it boils down to is royalty. At the end of the day,
Turner, not Natalie Turner. And I directed Mafia States of America, and to your point, it was very interesting when we talked with Sammy Gravano and Michael Franzese. They didn't agree on much. But they agreed on Chin Gigante being like a serious head of the family. And then when we talked with Rudy Giuliani, he was like, Chin Gigante, he acted like he was a crazy guy. People thought he was this big guy in charge, but he wasn't in charge of anything. And then we showed it to like Sammy and Michael, who didn't like each other, and they looked at it and they were like, fucking feds know nothing, bro. They know nothing. Well, and it was just like, it was very interesting in real time.
Yeah, I would think the feds would know nothing, but those guys, so the Illuminati doesn't exist, right? There was a Bavarian, doesn't exist, but the mafia also used to not exist. There's another Italian sounding thing that did not exist.
Well, they used to say the Bilderbergs didn't exist, and that was like a crazy conspiracy theory.
Or the NSA, all these things that exist.
HARP didn't exist.
And
that's real shit. Yeah,
we're not talking about a cryptid here. We're talking about an organization of real fucked up, foul people doing things in secret.
Yeah,
it's not far fetched even a little bit.
Absolutely.
But I think the names of the things don't matter as much as your bloodline, and that's royalty.
Bloodline.
Okay.
For sure.
Like, it's just I'm not trying to make anything.
White bloodline.
Yeah,
Well,
that's how
they
it
don't
should
even
be.
look at it
It's
like
white
that.
people,
They don't
yeah.
look at it as white. They look at it as blood, dude. Like
But so they separate white. So being white isn't enough.
Obama's royal bloodline. Obama
He
knew
is,
the
yeah.
Bushes growing up.
White-
How?
white-
How?
You're either white
is a
or you
very-
molest a
White's
kid.
a social construct. Like,
It's
Italian wasn't considered white in 1960.
yeah.
That's true.
Irish wasn't considered white at the turn.
I
of the
still
20th
don't consider
century,
Irish
so.
white
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm only half Italian, so I
Yeah.
feel like I'm part
No,
white.
there were signs in New York City in the 20th century that said no blacks, no dogs, no Irish in that order.
In that order.
In that order,
Damn.
yeah, they got to throw in that little thing at the end, like They tried to get rid of all Catholics. There was a party. America is more divided than ever. There was an actual political party called the Know Nothings that were formed.
That's right, yeah.
They were formed to get all of the immigrant Catholics specifically out of the country, and they hated that the Irish, but it was also the Polish and the Italians, could come over and just join the Northern Army and fight for the Union. And it's like, oh, you guys are citizens now?
Yeah.
Not in my land.
Well, I think they didn't want them fighting for the Union. They were like, "Why are you getting involved?" Think of it like, "Don't go to Ukraine."
Yeah.
You know, like I
Yeah.
don't care what the South does, and technically the South was supposed to be allowed to do that. So at the time, the way you'd be thinking if you're North is like, "I'm poor. What do I give a fuck about a foreign country called the South?"
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
federalized power is like a thing. Since you just never knew a time when it wasn't there, but.
Yeah.
This is coming from a time when there wasn't such a thing as that.
You make a great point from the Russian Federation perspective. Not that I agree, but from the Russian Federation perspective, Ukraine is the Confederate States. They broke off.
Yeah, it's
And
part
they-
of
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That's
It's
they're
called
just
the borderland.
reclaiming.
It's called the Ukraine. You know how they
Yeah.
retrained us to say Ukraine?
It's the
No,
Ukraine.
it's the Ukraine. It means the borderlands.
Mm.
It's not a fucking real country. Russia didn't want to invade. We wanted to make them invade. Why? Because we need to break up Russia. The way they broke up America and the way they broke up Europe. The corporation, it's time
global
to...
federalism.
Yeah, they have a word for global governance. And so all these billionaire fucking dipshits all think, Steve Bannon's right about this, a Venetian city-state system. Like how Bill Gates had that section of Seattle that was his. What's it called? The club was really good there. It was like a high... It was like...
Chaz Chop.
No, that's not the Bill Gates... Well,
He owned Chaz?
Pretty remarkable that happened.
by the way,
Yeah.
did you know that Washington is the #1 destination for bestiality tourism?
You know what? I had
Isn't
heard
that
that
where isn't that
somewhere.
where Mr. Hands died?
That is true.
Washington. R.I.P. By the
I
way.
like the way you said that. Like, did you know? As if you would.
Did
know.
you know?
You would
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
We all
As,
know.
as I'm sure you're aware, Washington is the number
Well, that
one.
pipe, yeah. Anything.
Well, because you get it mixed up with Washington D.C. But there's two Washingtons.
Yes, which
There's
is the number one
capital
destination for
and
pedophilia.
bestiality, the Vegas of bestiality.
Yeah.
How does one come to acquire this knowledge, Kurt?
You don't want to know. My girlfriend said it.
Is she a good boy? Is she a good boy?
Hint, hint.
No. She just used simple logic because it's the #1 amount of bestiality in the country is there. So she goes, well, that's probably the #1 in tourism for that, then I bet.
Yep.
And it stands to reason it does.
Yeah.
That's pretty logical.
Speaking of
yeah.
is she a good boy, did you see
She could, well, I just thought about that. I didn't give it- that's pretty great. I give it no credit. I'm
did
sorry.
you see you could actually see Theo Vaughn's brain processing like one of those windows that's
Yeah.
like, like the pinwheel of
Pinwheel,
death,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
As
Thinking about how to ask to
Jim
take a hit off your vape?
As Jim Norton was trying to explain how it works with his trans wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Theo is
He tried.
desperately trying to understand
Yeah,
how
The
this
so-
synapses just
So
started.
it's, so it's your wife, yes, and it's a she, yes,
And she has a
she has a
penis.
penis. No, she has a cock, bro. She got like a huge.
I mean, Jim sells it. You feel like you're wrong. Fucking Jim's so funny, man.
Well, so wait, I didn't know she still had a penis.
Yeah, you should
Apparently
never
she's
get
got
rid
a,
of your penis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Which
Okay.
if you got a hog like that, I'm sorry, you got to be a guy.
Don't
you got
ever
to go all
castrate
in.
yourself.
And if
Yeah,
you get rid
you
of it,
gotta
keep
all
it
in.
like in a case or something.
Yo,
Yeah.
back in the day, nobody trans got bottom surgery. In the beginning, people did, and it was a health disaster because you need those hormones. Don't fuck with that. And they all would just do the top, and they would say, "Oh no, don't do it. You can't have sex. Like you're castrated. Like now you're a woman for what?
Yeah.
You could have dressed like a woman and still fucked.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
now your
Yeah.
parents are cool in L.A. So there's that.
No, that's
Worth
a
it.
sad thing. It's almost like a big form of corruption pushing bottom surgery now, which none of them used to do that, dude.
Well,
like
people
they
get
already
paid.
saw
It's for free,
Yeah.
right? I think you were
Over
telling
$1
me. They
million.
do that.
and also
Yeah.
Over $1 million, end to end, gender
Wow.
affirming care. Over $1 million, full transition, fully covered.
yeah, no copays on that.
That's
I
a good
found out
deal.
from Tim
That's a good
Butterly.
deal.
Yeah,
That's a good deal. You
No,
kind of
if
have
you
to
have a
chop your dick
complication,
off.
it's a $40,000 copay.
yeah. Thanks for playing. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's frustrating, but so
No, that's a clear message. I want to cut off your bloodline. Like, we don't want you breeding.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
no
good
deal.
point.
I'm going to
That's how
poison
you
all
do
your
it.
shit.
Mhm.
I'm going to give you a mandatory thing that we didn't test. Well, we tested it on you. It was like and I'm going to encourage your kids to not reproduce and also mutilate themselves if possible.
Yeah.
Like the cult of Kybele in ancient Rome.
Yeah. As if puberty is easy for anybody. You know, it's remarkable. All these people they're going through puberty, and it's like, hey,
Now they got them.
what's happening here is not natural, kid.
Yeah.
We could stop this.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I think it's weird too to act like being against kid mutilation makes you hateful.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like there's a good debate to be had. It's an honest debate to be had whether children should be allowed to even make those decisions.
Well, you want me to be canceled?
Remember I Am Jazz?
What?
I Am Jazz, the show on Learning Channel.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, it didn't turn out too good for old Jazz.
Yeah,
What happened to jazz?
Look, so bottom surgery, you can't get that before puberty, okay? Because you got to grow out enough dick to make your fake vagina with. So if you didn't do that, it's gross, dude. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And Jazz was like suing his mom. I don't know. It was some kind of lawsuit. But there was a whole TV show about how great, and the boy did look like a girl, which, by the way, a lot of boys do.
Yeah.
Even
yeah,
if they're
for
just
sure.
gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
My Korean
Justin,
girlfriend
wait
looks
till
like a
you're an
boy.
adult.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, his
Whatever.
girlfriend.
Prove it.
Yeah,
It's the closest
Olympic
he
ping
can
pong, right?
Oh yeah.
Hard to tell which event's which. I was.
She's
same
so
haircut,
talented. Yeah.
Same build from like.
Yeah. Same feel.
Yeah. No, so I'm glad you guys are here because it's definitely a crazy time in America, and I think we need more discussion.
You're a crazy time. Man.
I am. Yeah. I just want to say that
Fucking got you.
Boom, roasted.
the honorable cowboy judge. Who are you today?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
I just bought the hat. I didn't bring
Yeah.
the judge out. Normally,
Yeah.
I'm a judge influencer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a judge influencer.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
about judging the law,
I can see it.
flexing my enormous wealth.
I don't think people realize how big Kurt is.
No.
They don't. Yeah. They don't. And you're
Till it's
talking
too
about
late.
that was one of the things about.
They don't realize it.
That was one of the first things
He's
when
right
I
on
met,
top of you.
when I met Charlie Kirk. That was one of the first striking things. I was like, damn, this is a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
big mother sucker,
He seems
man.
kind of tall.
I
He was
feel
a
like I
big
can tell
dude, bro.
from a screen,
Yeah.
but a lot of people cannot tell.
He's a
from
big
the
dude,
screen.
man. He was.
Yeah.
I'm 6'1". He towered over me.
Wow.
How
And when
tall
you
was he?
met him, how was that?
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
What were the circumstances?
I'm around a lot of politicians and all that shit, and
Mm-hmm.
you could look in their eyes and see there's nothing there.
Mhm.
It's an empty fucking vassal, and everybody they meet. It's very LA in that regard. It's immediately they're trying to see what can they get out of you, or what can you
Yeah.
do for them, or move on. They look at human beings as commodities to use and trade for their personal power and ambition.
Yeah.
Networking.
Charlie
Yeah,
wasn't like that, man.
exactly.
Charlie looked you in the eyes, and he was very present, and he was a genuinely funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
a
could
good
tell
dude.
he's funny because of his response to South Park. They made fun of him, and he retweeted saying it was hilarious.
Mm.
Yo,
So
I didn't
obviously-
know
yeah.
first of all, because I went when he said I'm just going to trust my friends in government. I was like, on Twitter I went hard. Not as hard
Who
as
said that?
what
Who
Charlie.
said- Oh, Charlie said that?
Yeah, and I remember we played the clip, and I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" And then Jimmy had another clip later of, "Hey, well, good for Charlie Kirk having Dave Smith and the other dude on."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah," and I think I didn't want to give it to him also because I was like, "What?" So I didn't know that he fucking was pushing back at all. Like, it's actually I would say his politics were tepid. They're not extremist unless you're a retard Zoomer millennial, you think that's extremism. They were tepid.
Mm-hmm.
But for him to go back on Netanyahu and them at all, he's got 2 billionaire donors, they said. Did you read the article? Max Blumenthal's.
Yeah.
Anya Pramprow. I don't know how to say Anya's last name. That's as good as done to me when they're writing about it because they won't touch shit unless it really looks like that, and it does look like it.
Yeah.
So now
he said it to Ben Shapiro's face.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a clip
He
of him
sat
talking.
there
So
with
that
Ben
means
Shapiro
that poor
said-
guy was a
Yeah.
true believer who went through the pain of, hey, this does look bad. What's the... And they were like, shut up.
Well, what he
And
did,
he's like, is this wrong? Like, so
He
that means he's a
genuinely
real guy.
asking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
makes it
genuinely
like
asking.
extra. Yeah.
what
You're
what
right.
he did that was impressive was he self-evaluated and he said, "I'm not holding Israel to the same scrutiny I hold other entities and other governments. On my show, I hold our government to task. I hold our politicians to task. And although I feel a deep connection to Israel, I've not been holding them and their politicians to the same scrutiny. And then that's something that, isn't it fair that we should?" And you can see Ben Shapiro's face as he said it like, "Oh,
Yeah.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
Damn, Charlie, you just killed yourself."
yeah.
Oh,
I
no,
got
Charlie.
you.
You can see the.
Oh, no,
He went like
Charlie,
this.
the
He went.
moment.
Oh,
Guys,
no,
I just say
Charlie.
there's some good news about
Yes.
this. Ben Shapiro said, "Don't worry, he's going to be picking up the bloody mic and going to the colleges himself now."
Oh,
So
great.
Ben
Yeah,
Shapiro
Ben
will be stepping
Shapiro.
in. We lost a giant, but Ben Shapiro will be there.
Yeah.
To take over
I
the
enjoyed
Lion
that.
of Judah.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Charlie Kirk.
the hot Ben Shapiro that they hired with the beautiful face and the big boobs there. She's not there anymore.
Oh
But
yeah,
that
girl,
was the-
girl Ben Shapiro.
yeah, that was very
Yo,
confusing.
when Girl Ben Shapiro came out,
Girl Ben Shapiro.
I think that is Ben Shapiro. I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't think there's two of them.
I'm into it.
Yeah, we've never seen them both in the
I'm into
same
it.
room.
I'm gonna let Jim Norton give it a taste test first.
Yeah.
They're not related.
Go.
Yeah.
Do you know they're not related? I thought it was his sister.
Brett Cooper.
Oh yeah, Brett. She's great.
Yeah,
yeah.
she's-
And they fired her.
Yeah,
Why'd they fire her? Though?
I don't know.
she refused to do her episodes in Yiddish.
Is that real?
It's such a hard language to learn. That's unfair.
Yeah,
Well, I would, but I don't put anything
I don't.
past
Does
him.
Ben
man.
speak Yiddish? I maybe Hebrew.
I think he's probably a real Jew.
even that's very tough, man. I'm not anti-Jewish by any stretch of the imagination, but it's
Not yet.
give it time. I'm
Okay.
not. I've only been in the
Now you
entertainment
say
industry for
that,
10 years.
but dude, you look a lot like the truck driver that wanted to beat up Pee Wee Herman in the big Tyrannosaurus.
Hey, listen,
When he was
Pee
with
Wee
the
Herman.
wait- truck driver was
I
gonna
would
kill Pee Wee.
Hey, a job's a job, man.
Yeah.
you
And I
know,
took it as
if
anti-Semitic.
Lawrence Fishburne could get in a pink cowboy suit, all right, one of the greatest
That's true.
actors of
That's
a
a
generation.
great point.
Jesus.
Cowboy Curtis.
You guys see a video.
Was
of
it Phil Hartman and Pee Wee Herman too?
Okay, do you remember
Probably.
the?
I think he
Do you
was.
remember the fucking boy? You know, you see Pee Wee's Big Adventure? Yeah. Remember the guy that was going to beat up Pee Wee because he was with the French waitress from the diner? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Did you just recently see Pee? Like, how do
No.
you?
Yeah,
How do you know this?
It's a crazy thing to recall.
He had a busy day.
Dude, yeah, put it on the screen,
Googling
can you?
bestiality.
That's professional reference right there.
Now, how do I ask
It's
for,
playing. in
Yeah.
the
Now,
panel.
how do you know I ask for a gentleman's zoo when I arrive in?
Is that right?
The nearest gentleman's zoo.
I mean, but
Sounds like a
I
sticky
think
situation.
but getting back to Charlie, it's even if you disagree with this guy, it's still
And I did.
right.
But I
Yeah,
also don't
did
like,
too.
and forgive me
Yeah.
for cutting you off, I don't like that everybody has to go online and be like, I didn't agree with everything Charlie said.
No, don't go on the line at all about it.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, that doesn't need to be said,
What
right?
are you
Yeah,
doing?
I hate the fact that if I show interest or compassion or empathy to somebody, the first response that a lot of people will be like, "Well, he said this or he said that." I'm like, my
From who?
empathy.
Mother says that?
No, just Twitter, just like
No, everybody
other.
thinks they got to give a shit about
But
Yeah.
what they do is they say that he said this thing, so he doesn't deserve empathy,
Yeah.
which is retarded because it's like my empathy isn't based.
they are retarded. Dude, they're like
Yeah,
smart-hearted. most
it's
of
not.
them.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they're religious. And I think one of the big problems, what I would, whatever
Zionists?
you want to
I
call
don't
them. You want
think
to call
a
them,
lot of them
you
are
want to call them
atheists.
the modern woke. You want to call it the left. You want to call it the socialist
They're
left.
not religious.
They absolutely are.
No, what do you mean?
Their worldview is their religion.
They're
Oh,
fanatical.
oh,
to
yeah.
the
They're
point of it,
fanatical.
yeah.
right
we're
now, yeah,
we're
right.
making the mistake. You're trying to have a logical, intellectual discussion
With who?
with these people, right?
Don't do that.
No,
But the
Why
thing
would
is, you
you do
can't. You literally can't.
You can't.
No,
But
no-
you would think if
no
somebody's
different-
dead-
if I had a Christian fanatic,
Right.
and I busted out a physics book, and I was like, due to the laws of density, it is physically impossible for a man to walk on water. They'd be like, well, this is faith. This is why it's faith, I believe. There's no way you could. There's no logical argument you can make. And it's the same thing with them. Everybody but me is a Nazi. I'm the only good person ever. You know?
Yeah. A symbolic what?
I thought it was more of a thing about controlling your emotions.
Well, it's an obedience test.
Walking on water.
Yeah.
The
obedience, yeah.
These are basic techniques. DARPA has been, openly they say this.
Well, the Bolsheviks.
Dude, way before that. If you watch these WEF conferences, which we always will have the clips of.
WEF? Explain that for people.
World Economic Forum.
Well, okay, right. The billionaire conference.
Okay, so the DARPA bitch is talking about how they follow very closely the way people form groups online. This is from quite some time ago, okay? So I bet you've been watching them do this, assemble, like all the things people fear about a chip in your head. They don't need to use a chip.
No.
They could do, we're at MK retard, the mass rollout phase. Oh, times are crazy. Why? Why are they? Because you're watching people get fucking programmed all, and it's not religious. I mean, it's religious in the zealotry and the fanaticism, but it's actually not religious. That's what they want. That's the ultimate goal. Okay, the ultimate goal of all societies is total control. That's a fact.
Power.
Gore Vidal says it in his great documentary, United States of Amnesia, and it's all about how everybody forgets the same thing that happens every goddamn time.
That's a great name.
This motherfucker just went from Pee-wee's fucking Playhouse to
it's all connected.
In 2 seconds.
You never potted with
It's
Kerber?
absolutely connected.
This is the fucking greatest thing.
There's no amount of red string that can satisfy.
This is the single greatest fucking 3 minutes I've ever listened to a
You got thinking
podcast
clips
ever,
now.
dude.
It's a young man's world. Roll the clips. Get it all in the clip.
Get it all, yeah.
What do you think his fucking algorithm looks like?
Oh, God.
Fucking
Can you
awesome.
It's just him over and over.
Can we just pull your phone up and scroll for 3 minutes? And
Yeah,
see what
let's
happens,
see
dude?
what's actually on your. What comes up on the curve?
No, I find all kinds of shit that I want to find on YouTube, even on suppressed ass YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know why they say the algorithms are bad, because mine is. I find stuff I didn't know about comes to me. That
It works. The algorithm works.
Yeah, I just happen to have a lot of interest. Is that weird?
No, it's great.
Are you supposed to stay in your lane of the
No.
one thing?
This is tickling my ADHD better
lot of people
than
do.
anything. You are
Yeah, why does
human.
everybody have ADHD, but they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How is that
That's
possible?
No, everything you're talking about. Love it. You're a
No,
human
not
fidget
you, but,
spinner, man. This is
I-
great.
I don't know who I'm talking to. I'll be honest with you. I don't know who I am.
No, you're talking to these damn fucking
Here's what came up.
communists. Yeah, what's going
Gary
on?
Wayne.
Okay.
I love Gary Wayne, actually. Something about Prince's stance on sampling. Grace Jones didn't. Oh, I like this one. Grace Jones didn't like Lady Gaga. Yeah, this is a good one.
Gaga asked to collaborate with you. You said no. How come?
I met her once. I saw absolutely no personality at all. I just see.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Who's that? That's
Grace Jones.
She's an empty vessel and trying to find herself. When you find yourself, then you come and show me something.
damn. So yeah, she
Oh,
is really. She
she's
really
like
is. That's
fucking
crazy.
Grace Jones. 100%. Lady Gaga is
Yeah.
such an empty vessel.
Empty vessel. Yeah, but they all are. It's a
Not Grace
demonic
Jones.
thing.
Grace
Do
Jones.
you think
is
it
a-
actually is a demonic thing?
I think
Yeah.
at some point
Well,
yeah, for
use
sure.
whatever word you want if you want
Yeah.
to say ultra terrestrial.
Aliens.
As soon as you look into it, what I do is my whole system. I just look at themes, and I don't get caught up in like, did the CDC or CCC say it to the F? You know how people get caught up in that worship?
Sure, yeah.
To me, that's some little wilderness of the mind trap. I just want to hear a repeating theme, so I know what, because I write stuff. So, you know, if you just sketch writing, right? If you're trying to come up with an ending for a sketch, it's the hardest thing.
No.
Because it's like, oh, there's like three things, and you never break out of them, and they get tiresome to you. Not people watching don't like them.
Yeah.
Horrible things. But
You did
you,
a great job in Smear the Queer, by the way. You were fantastic in that.
oh yeah,
Very good.
dude. When I said that to somebody, Smear the Queer, I remember he brought that sketch up to me,
Yeah.
and was it Bobby? He goes, oh, you mean kill the guy with the ball?
That's it. That's what I
Like,
call
you
it.
didn't call it Smear
Yeah.
the Queer?
No, kill the man with the ball.
I thought that, I mean, it's like wife beater. You shouldn't say it, but it was a game in a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys even play Smear the Queer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you played it?
Yeah.
No, what is that?
Oh.
We would go online
Be
and
easier to
trash
show
his
you.
reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're canceled, queer.
You cancel queer.
It was a time before nonstop doom scrolling. You'd just go out with your boys, and if you didn't have enough guys to play like a 4-on-4 pickup tackle football game in
Yeah.
the yard. You would throw the ball at somebody, and if they had the ball, they were the queer, and you had to smear them until the ball got out to somebody else.
really?
And then they started doing something called Forever Queer, where nobody else
never
was
heard of
ever
that.
allowed to have the ball. And you
really?
would just destroy this guy
Wow,
over
that's like a
and over and
prophecy.
over.
Yeah.
Wait, so you have to be
The
gay?
forever clear shall be upon us,
Yeah.
and he shall not give up the ball.
You can try and tackle him.
Wait, I don't even know what I was talking about. But Smee the Queer, that's a great sketch.
That was very funny, man. That was very good.
Wait, what were we even talking about?
Demonic. Do you believe
So-
it's actually demonic?
So if you just pay attention to the themes, there's not that many. So, like, demon is a label, okay? But the theme of somebody else coming around, you could break that down to colonialism of any kind, right? Like if you watch, Jesse Michaels, my friend Jesse Michaels just interviewed Charles White, Charles Hall, the Tall Whites story guy. Have you ever heard of Charles Hall?
No.
Okay, if you haven't heard of him, find him. The testimony of Charles C. Hall, but he was stationed at Dreamland as a weather balloon operator, and nothing he did was top secret. This is what he specifies, which caught my ear when I first heard it. Mm-hmm. He goes, "No, I was never briefed, and no one debriefed me, and no one gave me any explanation. This is what I figured out from being out there. And now, if I had written anything down, somebody would have killed me.
Damn.
Or the Tall Whites would have." And he described this race of extraterrestrials called the Tall Whites. And they're not the Nordics or with the blonde. They're tall albinos that when they're younger, they're like 6 feet tall. When they're older, they're like 8 feet tall. They're very skinny.
Right.
We heal like Wolverine compared to them. If they get a scratch, they don't heal how we do.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He said we're strong as gorillas compared to them physically. The way he goes, they're not here to save the world. No environmental shit from them. It sounded like we were Guam, so they were landing and they were trading stuff, and literally like the stuff they were trading, they didn't want us knowing the secrets of how they got around. They had like the best tech for that, and they can only come on a full moon because of a certain gravity. And by the way, the guy's a nuclear physicist who was staged. So keep in mind, there's a
The white guy.
Charles
guy?
Hall,
Yeah.
Tall Whites. Oh yeah, I know.
Is
He's
this
up
the
there.
thing where what podcast was it where they showed this indigenous people a picture of like
That's the ant people.
the
I was
ant
on with
people.
Jesse and that dude Jay from Project Unity. I haven't talked to him, but that guy finds some good shit. But he had a story about the ant people. It's out. They showed the picture of like the Joe Rogan aliens from the club, and they go, "Oh, these ant people. Yeah, they go under. They come up underground and they give you stuff and like do not trust them." Now
So
I hadn't
do-
heard
do you
that
know-
detail
Do you know what
before.
I'm talking about or no? Do you know what this is in reference to?
Yes.
They had these indigenous.
It's not the ant people though.
It's not the ant
The
people.
Greys, whatever. The Greys are ant people.
The Greys.
The Tall Whites I only heard of first in 2011 in a article because I would be writing monologue jokes, right? So I'd need like wacky news, so I'd get the week,
Sure.
and I would go through the wacky news, and a Farsi language Iranian newspaper said Obama is in league with extraterrestrials called the Tall Whites. Okay? And I was like, I never heard of the Tall Whites. It sounds like a losing basketball team. That's Yo, Speedweed from Y-Files wrote that joke for me, he said.
The Duke Tall Whites.
That's
Well,
right,
when
yeah.
you listen to it, and so they're like uncanny valley looking.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to listen to it because it didn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. So that's all I'm listening for is if you tell me a new story I ain't heard yet, because I feel
Right.
like I've heard them all at this point.
Yeah.
But what is it? What's the connection between that and like I guess being an empty vessel? Like why is it so many celebrities?
Also the
Because
demonic
they programmed
thing,
them with
demonic
MK
concept.
fucking Monarch. That's why. MK Monarch is a thing. I don't know why I'm saying it to you, but
yeah, right.
it's,
yeah, I believe
no,
you.
it's not Ultra. I said Monarch. It's been disclosed.
Oh,
they used to
right.
say, Wikipedia probably says it's fake still. However, the NSA archives, we found out from a guest on Jimmy's show, and I'm really into this, and I was blown away. This is how much they don't got to hide nothing.
Yeah.
Juliet, I'm forgetting her last name. I'm never on my show, but she goes, oh, and I go, they said the name Monarch, and when they disclose, oh yes, send me the link. Yep, it's in there. Nobody reads the shit. And I didn't read it. I didn't even hear about the NSA archives of stuff they
Yeah.
released.
Have you heard about this?
Artichoke, often, Monarch, those are real.
I haven't heard of it specifically, but
It's so bad that it sounds like a metaphor for society. That's what I thought. I go, these tortures they're describing of kids, that sounds like some like lizard people, a paranoid metaphor for. Nah, we brought Nazis over, remember, and we brought all of them.
yeah,
and they
Operation
brought,
Paperclip.
Yeah, and that's where we got
definitely, yeah.
all their valuable You know how they love the Dalai Lama and shit? The CIA and the Nazis and Richard Gere all agree that Dalai Lama is really great. Well, it's a reprogrammed child. They find before the other guy's even dead, you know, because the spirit transfers to the next Dalai Lama.
Right, yeah, they got to kiss him in the mouth or something.
No, that's a
the
joke I
spirit.
made when he tongue kissed that kid.
Yeah.
But no, but it's
I thought
DNA
that was a
tracking.
ritual.
It's just
Do you know you see him?
what?
No, but he
Dalai-
says everything with such confidence. I feel like
I'm not telling
convinced
you.
that I don't.
Yeah.
You've heard the story of how they find the Dalai Lama. The kid, they trace the genealogy, and then the candidates, they show him 3 toys, and the kid like picks one. It must be him, and then they take him. He's 4. So that's before you get that third brainwave to discern reality without mommy and daddy.
That's like Jedis. They got to get them young.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So they bring the kid.
Predictive programming.
Well, wait. I don't think that's the same thing. So they bring the kid, and then they train him. And what are you doing? So supposedly the soul's going from the, but the other guy's not even dead yet, by the way. So that's not true.
So reincarnation is real.
Wait. No. Well, the Dalai Lama, I've never myself heard the Dalai Lama say anything even interesting, let alone insightful. I've heard a lot of fucking Forrest Gumpisms.
Big hitter, that llama.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever. Yeah, the Nexium guy, he made Steven Seagal a deity. He's great. But what I'm saying is there's nothing there. See, what's great, because he has no personality already, the Dalai Lama's a thing this corrupt priest class makes up.
An
They
empty
repattern
shell.
a child that
Yeah.
you're this guy.
Right.
And the child believes they're that guy.
Yeah.
So that's MK Ultra at its finest, going back a long. If you believe their story, they've had the same ruler for 1,000 years. Because
So
they transfer him into a
need
kid.
you-
But all they're
Yeah.
doing is brainwashing a child, separate her. The reason you go to kindergarten, I told you last time, the Prussian emperor, soldiers were missing 70% of the time.
Right,
On purpose.
yes.
They
Yeah,
didn't want to
for
kill
sure.
nobody. The problem was you're with your mommy too long. We got to separate you. And the state gets its dick in your brain. Okay? And then shit that makes no sense like, well, I'm a Christian, but I also believe we need to blow these people up. That doesn't make sense.
That's what. Yeah. It
So
always
how do you
gets
do that?
me
You got to be
with
put in
the
a public fucking
Christianity.
school
Yeah,
at a young age and take a blood oath to the flag.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's-
as a kid, it's programming.
Yeah.
Predictive programming is when I think, correct me if I'm wrong, when they put something in like a movie that comes true like in a month.
Correct. Like in
Top Gun,
like
Maverick.
like when they do Monsters Inc. and it's just a cool little kids movie, and
That
they
was a good movie.
the monsters run their entire society off of the fears that they extract from children in the middle of the night. And
Yeah.
it's definitely not an allusion to child trafficking or adrenochrome.
they're
100%
telling the truth about
not.
Billy
There's
Crystal.
no way.
Oh wow, damn!
It's definitely
I
not.
didn't even. You just thank for
Yeah.
ruining one of my favorite
I know.
movies.
Yeah,
Monsters,
and
Inc.
then
was great.
and then it's like we can actually build our society off of making children laugh, and there's an entire system dedicated to not allowing that to happen. No, we have to take the fears from the children.
Now I don't know if
Yeah.
that's that could be that, but keep in mind because there's not that many ideas floating around. You're gonna hit on shit they've actually done if you're remotely creative
Right.
and writing about it. I can't tell you the amount of things I made up that I found out were true later.
right.
And that's no way I'm unique in that. Anybody that's like good
Well,
at,
you're pulling in a lot of information naturally.
Yeah,
yeah, I need material.
You're reading Farsi newspapers about Obama.
No, I read it. No.
You're
I
bound to
read
hit on
in
what
the
they're
week
doing.
a mainstream publication
Yeah.
to have stuff to make jokes.
Yes.
You know, like
yeah.
hey,
I'm a hack, so I don't do any of that.
I had to write my Lenos.
Yeah. Where do you get
I had
your
to write some
material?
sweet Lenos. Okay.
I talk about my Korean boyfriend.
I wait to see which meme gets the most retweets. I'm like, that's mine
Well,
now.
this is like this is before that, dude. This is like 2011. There was nothing about tall whites on anything. I was like,
Right.
I only heard of the X-Files, big head, Greta Thunberg kind of aliens, you know. And then fucking. Then I see this guy's thing during the
surprising wreck.
pandemic, Charles Hall, and his story.
Yeah.
It stuck out because normally alien bullshit is like a Catholic guilt trip that you're bad for existing on the earth.
Right.
Oh, because man, dude, as soon as I hear that the aliens are because a man is so violent and bad, no, motherfucker, I'm not. I live in the leaders of
the
shit
rapture, the idea of the rapture.
Well,
being-
that's a fucking Zionist fucking thing.
Oh,
That's
it is?
nonsense. Yes, that was never a thing. There's no word rapture in the Bible.
But it ends, right?
Huh?
I've never got to the ending. The Bible. How does it end?
The Bible never ends. It's like a never-ending story. No, it's
No,
like
it says
it's
Revelation.
It
Something
ends,
happens.
it
Right?
ends in Revelation.
they're gonna read. Look,
What happens?
Well, they're doing it now. And by the way, it's
No
not because it's
spoilers.
a prophecy to them. It's because it's a Shakespeare play. It's like summer stock. And they have the weapons now to do all the things in Revelation. Okay? And they're going, and they want it to happen. It never occurred to me that would be a
new
thing.
church is formed in Jerusalem, and Jesus comes back, and the righteous are taken to heaven, which is the rapture. And then
That's from the Schofield Bible horse shit. Dispensationalism, the evangelical shit in America, overwhelmingly, the shit that all those TV preachers you see and all that, like Jim and Tammy since I was a kid, that's all out of the same movement, and most of that is an intel operation. Almost all of it. The thing you just brought up about the church in for troubled youths. I mean, that sounds Catholic, but it could not.
No, it's Baptist. It's
so that dude right there.
Yeah.
That's most of these religions, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses. When I was in, I found out because Blair White, you knew Blair White.
Yeah.
Blair White's real name is Blair Russell.
Mm-hmm.
So her family invented the doomsday cult I grew up in.
Is that right?
Yeah. Her family, Charles Taze Russell. Now, we didn't worship that guy as a god or something. They made it. It seemed to me when I was in it for years.
By the
they
way,
were
that
kinda-
explains you so much.
What?
Growing up in a doomsday cult.
You grew up, dude. You grew up in a death cult.
Yeah.
Like
No,
we grew up in a thing where there was some
Just
hope.
black, man.
No. The rest of the now it's so funny how much I don't believe in that religion, but I believe in certain aspects of it,
Black
which
in
is
Detroit.
the things that you think are
Death
normal
cult.
are not. No, that's America. America is one of the most fucked up death cults that has ever existed, and if you think it's not, you're just not seeing it. But once you
But
see
what
it,
other options are there? That's the thing. Is
well,
other
I
countries
used to
have
be in
it
a
pretty
good doomsday
bad.
cult. Doomsday cult meant we'd be fine. That's what's good about it. Not that we're all gonna die. You are, motherfucker. I don't care if I do or not. All I would like to see is all the shit they hide that it gets shown to everybody. That's my one big wish.
That's
all
the
the
interesting
things.
part. That's the interesting. Even things that were based on the Bible, right?
Right.
Are you familiar with the Council of Nicaea?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
What's that?
what do you?
What's that?
Well, the first Council of Nicaea, especially, right? So the Bible, as we know it, the Roman Catholic Bible,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Specifically,
not where they made the Bible. That's not the Council of Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea is where they decided what Christ is. Was he a man? Was he God's son?
well, there's
Was
three
he God?
different Councils of Nicaea, right?
The one you're talking about is a different name. Where they arrange the like.
Which of the official books that would
Yeah,
go
they
in out
didn't
of the
ban any-
89 different Gospels, they took their 33, right?
Oh, they figured out which books to keep.
Yeah, and also it just so happens that Pontius Pilate wasn't the bad guy, and make sure it has a couple verses in there about make sure you pay your taxes to Caesar, okay?
Conveniently, yeah.
Well, it's a treaty, right? Because
Right.
the Roman Empire at the time, if you just look at it from a historical perspective, you're talking about two different sides. You have the Western and the Eastern. You have the monotheistic East, and you have the polytheistic West. And how do you bring those two cultures together under one banner? Well, we're going to let you polytheistics keep all your cool fucking orgies, right? We're not going to call it Saturnalia. It's Christmas, And
That sounds better.
It's just a corporate merger.
it's a corporate merger. That's honestly the best way to describe it. And also, remember, it wasn't Pontius Pilate who was...
Wait, Pontius Pilate,
Pontius Pilate, yeah.
the guy, the one that he said, "I can find no fault in this man."
Correct.
Okay, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so he was... I'm a stand for history, right? I'm a big mark, right? Pontius Pilate was a fucking nutcracker. He was the governor that they sent when there was an unruly, uncolonizable part of the empire, right? The Gauls are feeling like they deserve a little freedom. We'll fix that. Let's see how much freedom they want and how little, let's see if they come to their let's see if they come to their senses about paying taxes to the throne, the emperor, their emperor, after we crucify, I don't know, a couple thousand leading up to the roads. Now all of a sudden you want to be a part of the federation. And he was sent to Judea and Palestina to do the same thing. This was an unruly class. And Herod, the king, was like, hey, look, I'm just going to get paid here, right? Like, I'll get my people to chill.
Yeah.
And Jesus' whole thing where he flipped over the tables.
Right,
What,
I do
what were they
remember that.
doing? What were they doing at the temple? They were exchanging.
Watching gay porn.
They were exchanging
They
their
were
local.
watching
They were exchanging their
Homosexual
local
pornography,
currency.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? No.
Maybe. I mean, but they were exchanging local currency
Yes.
for Roman sesterces, and the rabbis that were doing it were taking a vig, and he's like, so not only are you taking away your own people's autonomy, but you're profiting off of it.
Wow. Yeah.
And he flipped it over.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Damn,
then they were
it's all-
like, this
It's
guy's
all-
not on board.
okay, you know how they say that Jesus is just Mithra or whatever, and here's what I think that it is, because the spread of it is so fast for a time that long ago that how I take it is a populist movement. And there's nothing a ruler hates more than a populist movement. Okay? Meanwhile,
Power to
the
the
military of Rome is completely in a Persian Mithra cult, which has the sun. See, that's the thing. There was a theme of the sun dies and then we can all live. But the point of Jesus, if you want to be in lore about it, is to trick them with their own stupid ceremony. The reason you have to live here and be a slave to fucking lizard dragon fucking people is because you're just born in a place that's run by them.
Yeah.
You were born here, and they're very legalistic. That's the whole Bible. They're super legalistic. I got you dead to rights, motherfucker. And blah, or Job, I can prove this guy's no good. Watch when I do. It's always a legalistic thing. So they have to abide by the law themselves. And so the whole goal is lawyer tricks to get you to feel like you got no hope in anything. But like, there's no such thing as forgiveness. At the end of the day, the worst thing they want you to think is there's no such thing as forgiveness.
Well, that's what liberals think with Charlie. It's like they're coming at Kirk and they're treating this mass murder as a time to
But he's
like
just there to
gloat.
project on like an idol. Like, that's why to me, that's a guy that's clearly an assassination. He probably, because
Do you
he
think
had
it was the kid? Do you think it was that kid?
No shit.
No, I think the kid shot him, but you don't understand.
You think it was the kid?
Okay, these young guys that can shoot, and they do, that's a proprietary technology. Do you understand? So MKL, Sirhan, the guy they made to kill RFK with the most hypnotically suggestive, that shit's real. Do people think it's not? Well, I think you're dumb. Because the same
is real.
thing
Okay,
keeps
yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
And the same dead-eyed guy is looking at you. And that dude, Nathan Reynolds, look him up. He told me, dude, on the phone, he goes, it's not always intel. If you're rich enough or you're connected enough, you just have one of them wind-up toy killers. Without even hypnosis, dude. In prison, they call you a crash dummy. You get somebody else to pull. You remember in Oz when there was a gun in the prison, you can't shoot it yourself.
Adebisi, yeah.
Yeah, and then the black Irish guy, Liz Lemon's boyfriend in prison, he goes, you got to get someone else to shoot. So they got the French guy who couldn't handle it to shoot the people he wanted dead. And the guy who's writing that is writing, Roman tragedy into prison shit.
Right.
And by the way, our government is based all on that. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, how do men think about Rome every day? Remember that meme?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
They do. Yeah.
Twice
Well,
a day.
that's because your
Twice a
government
day.
is doing everything it can to reenact the last days of Rome, except the part where Rome didn't allow Israel to control them. I mean, we dropped that part of the Rome
Yeah.
play. But
Well, you
they're doing
gotta
all of it.
pick
They're
your
going to
battles.
make
Update it.
this shit
Yeah.
happen. When people saw those stupid drone swarms, most of them were Palmer Luckey and Durrell drones, okay? He was doing a tech bro disruption thing.
Yeah.
But it stuck out that people saw the wheels of Ezekiel kind of shit in the sky. And they're like...
You know what the wheels of Ezekiel are?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, okay, saw this guy. Do you think other people that make drones have not also heard of this and thought maybe to make that so
Right.
you would see that in the sky and see what it does? Clearly, that's a mass experiment on people.
And for the good people watching this podcast, feel free to pause and Google at any time and come back.
Listen, there's no
Have your
time.
notes out.
There's no time. You just have to get to it. There's no fucking time.
Yeah, we gotta get just well. It is a lot of information, but I think it's important to really give it time to breathe because stuff like that. And I'm really curious about the way that cults work and how America is a cult and how the work that Charlie was doing, in a way, was inviting us to get outside of your cult. I mean, I know people shit on him for doing the prove me wrong
I think
stuff.
he was a genuine guy, and I didn't before. But
Right.
the fact that because I remember 3 weeks ago they're calling him anti-Semite because Dave Smith was on his thing.
Yeah.
And Dave Smith is a good friend of mine who's Jewish, by the way.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Yes,
hate
yeah.
the Jews.
Yeah.
Right.
And Charlie Kirk was actually trying to just live up to his own thing while being funded by billionaires who don't want him doing that. And they don't want to have to tell you what not to do. They pick you because they think you're going to do predictably what they want. Them
Yeah.
having to say it is really awkward.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't.
Yeah.
And I've seen this, dude, working on TV, all this. You watch anything, people just like, oh, you don't say that. Oh, you don't talk to him. Why? Isn't there an issue? Oh, I wouldn't.
Well, you got to talk to people. You have to talk, right? Like, I feel like you lean more conservative, right?
By today's standards, yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
1999 Democrat.
Right.
But
Yeah.
in today's standards, I've been told multiple times I'm a Nazi.
Dude, why do we
So,
have left and right wing? Does anybody know? Why?
Yeah, it goes back to the French Revolution. It's where they sat during the French Civil War.
Oh, but it's still the
what side of
same.
Parliament.
So why
left
do we
and
have
right.
to use that? I don't understand the things that we've been handed down that we use.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, the horseshoe theory is more accurate.
what's that?
The horseshoe theory, the idea is like they present us left and right on a scale as if it's linear line, and that right is diametrically opposed to left. But in actuality, it's more of a horseshoe. And the far right, the Nazi, let's say, it's a socialist, the German Socialist Workers' Party, and the far left is a socialist. It's authoritarian. What makes somebody left or right in true terms is not the ideas, it's the implementation of the ideas, right? If you're Dave Smith, to use an example, if you're a libertarian, the concept is I'm going to tell you my ideas, the marketplace is going to work, and you are going to, through your own free will, choose to abide by my rules. If you're far on the other left, you said Nick Fuentes, right? You're going to do.
He's left? I don't know what he is.
Well,
actually.
Nick
No,
Fuentes is
he's
very
right.
far right,
He's
but what
super
I'm saying
But
is that
yet he's gay and also loves Muslims and
Yeah.
pedophilia.
He's a complicated man.
yeah, he's all the way. The point is that the further right you go in the horseshoe theory, the closer you are to the extreme left than you are to the moderate
Where's
center.
That's
who made
right.
that up, the horseshoe
Yeah.
theory? Do you know?
That I believe comes from. It might be Rothbard. Maybe
It sounds
Rothbard.
about right though, because the people on the left that are cheering for murder remind me of the people on the alt right
so look,
that
look.
like think that they
Obviously,
can just die.
it's a
Mario and Wario.
You
Yeah,
don't have to
exactly.
fucking
Yeah.
So it sounds like the perspective of someone thinking that this is an organic thing that humans just do, and it would make sense if that were the case. But the better analogy is a Masonic checkerboard. There's the white square and the black square. People think Luciferian is devil worshippers. It's not. A Luciferian is someone who thinks they're above good and evil. They hold the seething powers of Lucifer in one hand, and that fucking stupid goat thing.
Yeah.
As above, so below.
Right.
Right. So, because you need psychopaths to run a system that we have. It's not because everyone's just bad. They specifically, and I'm not saying it's with computers or holograms. Literally, the shit you think is normal that's been set up by some psychopath wealthy guy that they just need 1 or 2 generations for it to become reality. They just need 1 or 2 generations. You forgetting about something, which they have. They have. People don't even have a clue how much of a repeating pattern every one of these events is, and they forget within like 2 months.
100 years.
Dude, not even 100 years. It's rapid. So the reason I thought Israel might have been involved in Charlie Kirk is because that Jewish couple got killed in D.C. The shooter killed them. They were young,
The
around
Democrats.
Charlie Kirk's age, and then he laid a Palestinian flag and waited for the cops. And then a whole round of we need to crack down on Twitter and blah, blah, blah. And then you don't even remember what I'm talking about, do you?
Wait, you're not talking about the Democratic
That was in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
No, I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's a lot of them. The idea of a mass shooter is not. It never came about organically. Read Tragedy and Hope by Carol Quigley. My Rabbi Richard Grove sent me the copy free. Okay, it's fucking expensive and this fucking thick, and I did not read it. He also sent me Tragedy and Hope 101.
Yeah.
Which is the compiled parts that explain all the shit. And it's perfectly dry academic shit from a respected polymath who was on the side of the New World Order. Because this goes back to H.G. Wells. Go on YouTube, you can find for free the H.G. Wells Futurist movie.
Creepy stuff, man.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's so funny, dude. They were all in it. It's
H.G.
all
Wells was
British.
talking about transhumanism.
They
It's
were?
all part of that shit. And,
Wow.
and
It goes.
Cecil Rhodes.
That's insane.
Cecil Rhodes, the young gay Nick Fuentes of his day. It's these guys. You always hear
Oh,
about
we
it.
all have a Nick Fuentes.
No,
There's always a Nick Fuentes.
no, Cecil Rhodes is less lazy than him, okay? But it's always an asthmatic boy to a family of 12 kids in a religious household who's
Yeah.
gay, and he can't stand the thought of a woman. So that's why he must go out into the foreign and expand the colonies and Her Majesty's kingdom, or else he might have to get married. Because he doesn't like... It couldn't be more... I'm watching a biography about it by this kid who's clearly some kind of weird Oswald Mosley fascist from England. and he's like in his 20s as a British accent. It's that British toff accent where they're like, they just like to wear a suit and fuck guys and pretend they're not gay.
Yeah.
But it's just women are inferior, huh? It's that. And Cecil Rhodes is
I
that.
mean, in fairness, Aristotle did say a woman is just an incomplete man. So
He said that?
I mean,
They were all gay back
That
then.
kind
also-
of cuts
man.
both
he
ways,
also-
doesn't it?
Aristotle
all
made
gay.
a pretty compelling argument for slavery too. So
What was the argument?
It's good. That was the argument.
The argument
It was, we
the
should
ar-
have slaves.
It rules.
The argument was that I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but his argument is that
No, stand your ground. You can say.
I didn't say it. If
Tell me about your best friend,
I'm
Aristotle Fuentes.
I'm an imperialist. If it were up to me, we would be tanks would be rolling through Somalia right now. We'd be throwing up casinos
Oh,
up on
really?
the coastline. Oh yeah,
Okay, you like what Trump was doing with DC? More tanks.
Well, DC, they have to do
those
that.
are two different things. I think colonialism was the best thing that ever happened to humanity
Really?
ever.
Well, that's what I got. Good news for you.
What?
That's what rules the world, and I don't think it's human at the top like some people think it's human.
Do you believe in the interdimensional demons and the interdimensional aliens and the?
I think calling them interdimensional is fucking stupid because I don't think
well,
people know what
excuse me.
Yeah, you fucking dumbass.
everybody, look, those terms are fucking. That's the thing. Is like you could.
What
say
are
that-
they if it's not
wait.
interdimensional?
All the terms are immediately a vice on your head to keep you thinking in a certain Overton window. It's the same as being Democrat, Republican, or fuck it. Here's the two power centers, as far as I can tell. It's the fascist perverts versus the pervert fascists. Okay? And there's a lot of crossover.
Sure, as there would be.
I
wonder what.
And you're the
yeah.
first step. That's
Wait,
why
who
they
do you
love-
root for then? I'm rooting for the.
The Lord to put him in a wood chipper at the end of time.
Oh, is that what
It's
happens?
not in the Bible, but
I never made it to Revelation.
You know, I
Is that
believe in
what-
manifesting what I want.
So that's what happens. We
So
all go
it's
to
on
a
page
wood chipper.
17.
No, Revelation wasn't even supposed to be in the Bible originally. I can't remember who got in a fight. It was like a political struggle in the church, and it served the purpose of it was when the Arians were a thing, not with a Y, with an I. The people thought Jesus was God's son, but not God himself. Mm-hmm. In fact, Lucifer.
Huge, by the way, huge wars fought over that concept.
Really? Just that idea.
Theodoric.
And I have
ended
to
up
tell you, I don't give a shit.
abdicating in Rome over that.
I told
Really?
you last time, I look at Jesus as illegal because this is a legalistic devil fucking system. They don't like Jesus, and they don't want you to have that. Why? Because I think it's like a free public defender. So Satan would be the accuser. That's the
He
that's
is the
prosec-
accuser. That's what he's.
So
that's the name.
the trick
right?
is the idea
accuser.
Satan's a rebel.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Satan runs the world. That's in the Bible, by the way. In the Bible, it says that. If you want to be in lore. Again, not religious, but people don't know their own lore of what they supposedly think.
A lot of people don't know what's in the Bible.
Well,
There's
why
like
does
I
God
don't.
allow
in
evil?
there.
Well, because this isn't under God's jurisdiction, dipshit. Did you read the thing? No, nobody read the thing. Or they-
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why it's like that.
Right,
so
right.
you're already born a slave of whatever the fuck is in charge.
Sure.
And so there's some loophole where because you are bad, right? If you're an atheist and an eco freak, you're like, I'm bad for being alive. I
Yeah.
fart carbon and whatever the fuck. Because you are bad for being alive, a guy that came in the story that literally did nothing, the only guy that didn't do nothing wrong, who ever lived, and they killed him for a crime he didn't commit. And the balance of that injustice outweighs how fucked up you are. That's the whole concept.
Yeah,
That's the
pretty
appeal
much
of it.
Yeah, that's
And
really
that's
it, yeah.
and all this
Christianity. That's
yeah, or Jesus. I don't
Right.
care. Like again, the point of Jesus to me was
He's
to
a
not
prophet
be.
in Islam too.
Oh, he is.
You don't have to be beholden to horseshit matrices. Is the point of Jesus to me. Traditions.
Yeah.
He literally said that to the Pharisees. You render the word of God invalid with your traditions. And it's all about not obeying the letter of the law over the spirit of the law. You're supposed to know what the spirit of the law is, motherfucker, and not try to find wormy ways around it to get away with shit. But there's a certain, and they call themselves the serpent race, and believe it or not, it's not in any one religion. It's a bloodline of people that call themselves the serpent race. And they think, that's not what I think, they think that they come from the line of Cain because Eve fucked the snake. It's the gayest
Is that
shit
true?
you
Have you
ever
heard
heard.
Yeah, the dragon. Yeah.
Whoa,
And that's why there's a
Goddamn.
dragon on everything in king and queen countries, right?
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think dragons might be real.
Of course they
That's
are.
an unenviable position to be in, I would say.
Yeah. Well,
I
also
mean,
dinosaurs.
If somebody came across dinosaur bones 2,000 years
I
ago,
was
you'd
just
be like,
about to say, yeah.
That's a
Sure.
good point. It's a
Yeah,
label.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, so you get the labels, and that's when you start to watch. That's how you know who's full of shit. Because you know, it's really simple. A lot of questions have simple fucking answers.
Yeah.
I just wish you were passionate about this subject. Then we could,
Yeah.
then we
Well,
could
I
really
don't
get
know.
to the. Then we could really get to
Literally,
the.
you don't
got to
kill nobody. You
Yeah,
don't
stop
gotta roll
teasing us
tanks.
already.
Yeah, man. Just tell us how you really
You don't
feel.
need fucking tanks for shit. You
Yeah.
literally got to not consent to bullshit and go along to get along.
So spiritual
and go,
warfare.
do you want to die on that hill? And that's why I gotta say Charlie Kirk. I was wrong about him because that motherfucker did die on that
He did.
hill.
He
I think.
literally died on that.
I think that guy. It's wild. He is a martyr for free speech because he did believe in that shit at the end of the day.
I mean,
And
he
he,
was
he
promoting
gave his
free
opponents a
speech.
microphone. That's the part that
Yeah.
is painful for all of us in this room and what we do.
Oh yeah.
Right? This is a guy who he didn't try to cancel anybody, but they tried to cancel him. They tried to demonetize him. They sued him. They hurled allegations at him. He's been called a racist. He's been called a sexist, a misogynist. And the propaganda is so powerful. And this goes back to something Kurt was talking about way earlier before, where you don't actually need the MK Ultra, which, sidebar, a lot of this stuff has been it's been released in FOIA requests, like remote viewing. The CIA admits
They
that
admitted
they do
that.
it.
They admitted that.
Which is that you feel like that should be headline news. We should all be talking about the fact that
insane.
they have remote viewers.
Yeah.
if it
And
don't
that's-
look like movie shit, it's not real.
yeah.
Yeah, George
but you-
Clooney
you
had a
never had
movie.
fucking
George Clooney. The
What?
George Clooney movie, the men who stare at goats. Isn't that what that was?
It
about?
is. I
Yeah,
know.
but
I know
John,
somebody.
John Ronson, the guy who wrote the book, and the book is not like that movie.
Mm.
Okay, and that was a real fucking program. They have to, dude. That's why the Epstein
Astral
files
projection.
are never coming out. The UFO shit will never be disclosed.
They just showed us a
because
new
they
UFO
can't
thing.
tell you ever. If
Did you see the missile bouncing off of the thing?
Yeah, if you
But isn't it
Suck
crazy?
my
Like,
dick.
doesn't it? It's always a potato on a piece of construction paper, right? We were able to see the actual blood cells come out of Charlie Kirk's
Yeah.
neck in HD.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
every
That
time there's a
fucking, like,
UAP,
fucking-
it's
yo.
a fucking potato on
Yeah, yeah,
construction
yeah.
paper.
It's just
It looks like
arcade
a
Space
kitten.
Invaders.
everything looks
Yeah, what
fake.
we doing, dude?
Everything
Yeah.
looks fake.
That's
and
true.
Charlie Kirk, I wanted to not see it, but I clicked something else that showed it,
Yeah.
and dude, my set was fucked.
Yeah.
Dude, that was one of the most horrible things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah.
You saw that dude's soul go out of his fucking body in
Yeah.
one instant, and if you didn't know it was real, it would look fake.
Yeah.
And so everything looks fake, okay? I mean, like, Joe DeRosa I thought you showed me a picture of Tupac supposedly being alive way before AI was a thing, okay? And by the way, the picture is of Tupac. But because, well, officially he's dead, so that's got to be fake. It doesn't matter the pictures. Do you understand?
Right,
Once
yeah,
you're
yeah.
locked in to what you think is reasonable in your Overton fucking window, you're locked in.
Yeah.
And right now is a bad time. Here's what everybody senses, even if they don't go as far as I do. They all they're destabilized. So in the midst of destabilization, that's when all these fucking snakes are going to come in with the extra bullshit narratives,
Yeah.
right? And then people go, well, how are you
Yep.
supposed to know? I don't think it's that hard to know, honestly. You don't have no discernment? Here, you know them by the fruits of their works, is the scripture, and it's right. You know the tree by its fruit. Oh, shit grew on this tree. This is a shit tree.
So do you?
So let's
do
look
you
at our
think
foreign
this is-
policy. Did you see anything
Yeah.
good from it?
Do you
Or a
think-
big shit tree?
It's also
Right.
instinct, right? Like it's I think a very interesting concept of whatever we want to call it, the woke, want to call it this cultural revolution that we've lived through. One of the key markers is to eliminate inherent bias. This is something they try to teach all these kids.
You should.
eliminate inherent bias. That used to be called instinct. It's your gut, right?
Well, I thought your gut has an inherent bias.
Sure, but
Maybe a survival thing.
Can I use
it's
all
a
my
survival
parts equally?
instinct.
Yeah.
It's
Is my
a
question.
survival. Look, just because there may not be somebody out there in the dark, you hear a sound, you go up and you check.
Well,
It's in your DNA.
You
You're
have
totally
to.
right
Yeah,
to
yeah.
trust. Like,
Yeah.
this is a thing that I think you're hitting on a lot because, well, a lot of people, they have no sense of self at all.
Yeah.
Okay? And I've seen people, dude, Jamie Kilstein, who I knew for years, and went through a whole, and he got fucked over hard in his dumb ass. This is back when it was SJW, not woke.
Yeah.
And he got fucked over hard with bullshit. And I remember when he was hardcore into that, the guy used to be a Doug Stanhope fan and trying to be as offensive as possible. Then he's like, don't be offensive. And it was always the girlfriend he was with. And I would go, that guy's a half a dude.
Yeah.
Like his self-esteem is half a guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Seems to
years
happen a lot.
later, years later, he came, when I moved to LA, he came to my house and told me, he goes, yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
The girls with, and as soon as you hear what the story is, you get it. So if you don't have a sense of self, and this is what I want to be grateful to my doomsday, really my mom, because I didn't know people's parents don't tell them this. Me and my brother and my sister all knew nobody's supposed to be fucking you up your ass for things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
we all knew that. If you
got a
have to
great
do that
mom.
to get the thing, then you didn't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought that's basic shit that people
Right.
not ain't, and the amount, and that's why you saw Me Too. That's why they play on every group. The feminists, my favorite, they played on every fear they had of a bunch of people who probably have been raped 100%.
Yeah.
And so they're easier to manipulate. That's how they did shit on kids.
Sure.
That's how you control the best.
It feels
trauma,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then what did they do? They manipulated them into guys get to whip their dicks out in your fucking locker room with you.
Yeah.
Yay, feminism. They're doing it now. It's always the same trick. I don't know. Like, I'm not that smart, dude. 9/11, they tricked me good. I was like, yeah, Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People go,
Right.
that doesn't, literally, it makes no sense. And I go, shut up.
Yeah.
So I'm not like on it like that. It's
Yeah.
just, it's been 20 years of, I guess I remember shit.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my patriotic duty to forget, but I can't.
You have a good memory. You remembered the truck driver from Pee Wee Herman, for fuck's sake. So of course you're gonna.
Yeah.
Well, are you guys familiar with the Pantera theory?
No, what's the Pantera?
Jamie,
theory?
pull that up.
Jamie Kilstein, pull that.
Yeah.
Jamie Kilstein, get it up now.
Within the first century, within 100 years of Jesus' death, there were reports that they not only knew who his biological father was, they knew there's a statue of the Roman soldier Pantera, and that is the soldier that either consensually or non-consensually, depending on, because when Mary conceived, she was 13 years old.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that God
That's from
Didn't
the
impregnate?
they reference it in the
13-year-old?
when the
Do you believe? Did you grow
Monty
up
Python
religious?
movie.
I want to believe,
Yeah.
but I don't think
Yeah,
I do.
I don't think you got to believe shit. I look at
I
it
believe
this
there's
way.
a higher entity,
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, who
but
cares?
I struggle with the
Okay, look.
constructs of religion.
I think it's a lie about believing. I think here's the thing. I care how you act. So what all these things are supposed to be is some kind of compass for you to go, hey, should I do this or not do this? There's supposed to be some kind of a guide.
You
okay?
kill somebody or no?
Originally, Christianity was not called that. It was called the Way. That's what the followers of
Really?
yeah.
Isn't
they were
that from
called-
Star Wars?
Where do you think they get the?
Mandalorian.
No, yeah, Star Wars dates
Wait,
from ancient Egypt.
wait till you hear about where the Matrix
That's
got
what-
their
but
ideas
you
from,
see-
buddy.
Wait, you see what I'm saying?
Wait,
There's
you mean
only-
the trans?
Dude, there's only so many stories.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They keep recycling them.
Okay, so yeah, of course,
7, right? That's the idea. There's 7 stories.
I don't know, but they're not. It's not a lot, and so if I hear a new one, it's very. I
Yeah.
perk right up.
But this is the thing with Jesus, right? Like, I don't need him to be the Son of God. If let's be the least charitable we could possibly be. This is the son,
Which I am.
this is the son of a raped mother, but who was raped by a soldier of an occupying force. That became a populist leader, as he was saying, that was such a powerful populist revolutionary in a time before mass communication. We talk about him 2,000 years later. We base our entire Western civilization off of his teachings.
All right.
Right,
So,
so-
yeah.
wait. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's true. And so, but here's the main thing. I'm telling you my kookball conspiracy that I've brought up many times. I know nobody remembers because it is weird. If you know what a moonchild is, and you know what people that trace bloodlines do, like the Dalai Lama we spoke of earlier,
Right.
they strategize astrological dates to conceive a child and to give birth, and so even now in like Red Rocks, there's some chick giving birth with like sigils and shit, like baby Mozart. You play Mozart, and remember that whole horse shit of playing Mozart in the womb would make the kid smarter.
Yeah.
What that is a form of this, is an attempt to pull something in. I want this child to be a vessel for this thing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so when they talk about Hitler, Carl Jung and his archetypes, he goes, they was possessed by an Odin archetype. I think it's a
Hitler,
fucking
Hitler.
moonchild that they try to pull something into.
Hitler.
Yeah, anybody that's like this hollow. So what I look at that story as, or I suspect is, whatever cult was doing this to make a moonchild accidentally brought something they didn't mean to bring in that undid their stupid shit.
Okay, they fucked up. They got the wrong one.
Because they'll tell you that
The Nazis were super into the occult, man. Super duper.
Yeah,
into it.
Crazy.
because I think Hitler.
Didn't
Okay.
Hitler think he believed he was reincarnation of somebody?
It's hard to tell, but
If your parents fucking a mountain surrounded by, you're gonna think you're
look,
special.
the
or
reason
whatever,
they
you know?
wanted to, like the boys from Brazil, like where they clone Hitler. You've heard of that movie and book.
Yeah.
So it's not because Hitler. I'm just saying that's not my asshole. So, okay, it's not because Hitler is so great. It's because Hitler was a great container. Okay, a mark of good breeding is dissociation. Is being able, like, dude, I'm sure you know rich people by now in your life. I hope you were funny enough to meet some rich people. But when you hear their stories, all of them are on SSRIs, and they're telling you shit that is so out of your fucking wheelhouse unless you grew up in some wealthy, where, they went to Paris Hilton rape camp for whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
dude, the shit I've been told.
That's a real place.
Yeah, I'm not
right?
going to
Yeah.
tell this story. I'll tell you off of here, but shit
Yeah,
I've been
whoa.
told casually by people. Like, it's not that
That have
fucked
been
up.
there?
Not Bohemian Grove. No, I'll tell. No, just I'm saying
tell
general
us
rich
after,
people
tell us
shit.
after.
If you're from certain bloodlines, where they name the kid the fourth, the third, or whatever. That's an
Yeah.
attempt to clone your. It's all immortality attempts, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pattern my son, my namesake, John blah blah the third.
Yeah.
And you could tell the ego by how many. Do they get to the sixth? You're like, wow, you're an inbred motherfucker.
Yes.
You are an inbred ass motherfucker.
That's
That's
a
it.
long
What do you
time.
think
It's a vessel. It's somebody that you can put at it. Like when I work on TV and I would hear this phrase when something cringy happened, they go, "Oh, I left my body," and I think they did leave their fucking body actually.
Yeah.
You hear
Okay.
Darren Dalton talk about it? You remember Darren Dalton? You guys know who that is?
No.
Yeah, who
Sounds
was that?
familiar.
He was a great he was a catcher. He was a great player in the late 80s, early 90s. And I know about this because I do a podcast with Mickey Gall, UFC guys. I'm around a lot of UFC guys. And George St. Pierre very famously talked about how he would have aliens come into his body. And
What?
Like
I
as a
just
kid?
saw him. I
Yeah.
could have asked him about that. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
talked about it. Yeah.
No, he's not
So
here now.
Darren Dalton,
Wow.
Darren Dalton did an interview, and it's like impossible to find. Like it's almost like I'm gaslighting
Oh, I wish
myself.
I
Like
knew
did it
that
even
2
happen?
days ago.
Darren Dalton had a huge hit in the World Series. He was his last year. He was on the Marlins. The first year the Marlins won. He was an all-star in the Phillies. He's a backup player on the Marlins. He gets a huge hit in the World Series, and he's being asked in just an interview, like a normal interview. It was like, hey, what was it like to get that game-winning hit in the World Series? And he starts welling up with tears, and he goes, that was stolen from me. An alien came into my body. Somebody took over my body and
Oh
took
my
that moment
God.
from me, and I had to watch them do that.
What a
and
jerk.
the interviewer's like,
Who said that?
Darren Dalton, and he's like, "Oh,
What
well,
the
we'll be back after
Out of
this."
fucking nowhere, he just gets.
Yeah,
Dude, yo.
Yeah.
What? All right.
and he's
I
tearing
gotta
up,
look-
tearing up.
Wait.
and he's like, "That
That's
that
fucking
stolen?
crazy.
He
Was
what
said,
you
stolen
he
said.
from
said
him?
that moment was stolen.
How
from
long
him.
after did that interview happen?
Dude, it was like,
Oh, it was like immediately after.
no,
years?
this
Oh.
is years later.
He'd ever talked about it before then?
Dude, try to find Darren Dalton. Try to find him talking
Hey,
about
let
crazy.
me tell you something, dude. That's fucking wild what you said. So go on MormonMonarch.org. J.R. Sweet's story is
No free
very-
shout outs. Pay him. Pay
Yeah.
Trey.
Yeah. Hit the link.
Hey, Trey.
Yo, dude. So he basically, and he's the second or third person when looking into shit who were a mind-controlled slave of Robert Byrd. Remember that Klansman?
Yeah.
So Senator Robert, and whenever I meet people from that area,
Joe
I bring-
Biden's buddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's friends with Biden.
Well, no, he's friends with all of the Democrats. He was a hardcore Satanist, and I don't mean like the motherfucker was like he played the fiddle and shit. Anyway,
Oh wow, wait a minute. How on the
no,
nose?
Not even the
definition
violin,
of
the fiddle?
player.
Well, the fiddle is. I mean, that's like a historical.
Play it hot.
Yo, talk to fiddle players. You tell me if they don't know about what I'm talking about, motherfuckers.
I will.
Do you
Wait,
where
so-
do you fall with like blood magic and witchcraft and stuff?
What do you mean?
Do you think that
Women
there's
get their pyramids and ruin my couch?
Blood magic.
the crystal babes?
The magic is it never comes out.
Yeah.
Well, crystal. I mean, there's a silliness to it, but a crystal's also a thing that's used in real There's also a whole thing of actual shit with crystal. That's
What is it called? A conduit? Is that the word for it?
I don't fucking know.
That's what people
I'm
say.
not a nerd.
All right. Well,
I'm an old country
I'm
joke.
sorry. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Wait,
Crystals, they contain energy or they capture it. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Well, everything
yeah.
contains energy. Everything is energy.
no,
That's why
but
I
I
think-
but they
just look up
vibrate on a
scientific
level-
uses of crystals,
Yeah,
and
let's-
you'll see that
yeah.
they are used for. It's not for a hippie's intentions, but they are actually used for energy purposes like that.
Right.
Legitimate,
Yes.
like lithium.
Yeah.
But-
Wait, what were we talking about before that? God damn
Darren
it.
Dalton, the something Mormon
Oh,
monarch.
yeah, the vessel.
He left
fucking
his
Robert
body.
Byrd, multiple alleged victims say that he used to always joke, "I'm Robert Byrd. You know, I own Larry Bird, and his name's Bird. My name, like this lame." And it's so
That's
eerie
kinda
the level
funny,
of how
yeah.
it sounds like that's a thing he would do. But a bunch of sports fucking heroes. So it's your Kanye's and your fucking Jared Leto's and your basketball players.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Kobe.
Okay? And very specific reasons. Go in Hollywood, going back, get "Thanks for the Memories" by Bryce Taylor. Fucking Bob Hope owned her, and they pass messages. I can't remember what the operation is called, but these are like the first iPhones, but they're fucking people.
I feel like Trevor Moore used to like poke
Yeah, he
fun at
did,
this stuff,
and
right?
he's gone now.
He's dead. Yeah. They killed him.
Do you
Yeah,
think
but-
so? Do you think they killed him?
Listen, man.
He might have fought. Look,
Who's they?
supposedly he was drunk and fell off something, and this is a 4 Claw podcast with me.
Yeah. So
on the
we're,
ground floor.
we're getting the truth right
Yo,
now.
people don't want to know or even conceive, think about a thing like what I would think about now. But once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
I think that there's something. They definitely kill people. We know that. Like, I like to start at a base level of, well, we know that if you start speaking on certain things.
Oh, also we know
You'll die.
they've released the information. They did do this program. Also, I just want to throw this
Yeah.
out there: the NSA archives,
Right.
MK Ultra, all the shit.
It's all
Monarch
real.
was a real thing. If you look up what Monarch is, it's real fucked up.
Well, really, what the FBI did, and they tried to get MLK to kill himself. They tried to
They
convince
did.
him he was crazy.
Right.
And that this has been declassified for people that don't know. They would plant speakers in his hotel rooms, and they would whisper things in these speakers, and then they would have handlers go in, and they would have these whispers happening while there were other people in the room, and MLK would be like, "Do you hear that?" And he'd be like, "Hear what?" And they would gaslight this dude into thinking he was losing his mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then, you know how
That's
he
so
cured it
petty.
with some good old dirty
That's
pussy.
so
Yeah.
petty.
Cheating.
Same way Cuba, what's his name, did with dirty ass pussy.
Yeah, dude.
Fidel Castro.
Oh,
They would try that
really?
Castro.
Suge Knight got Eazy-E with that.
Oh, he did?
Oh, he dusted him out. He Suge Knight. Eazy-E was gonna leave if you believe if you believe the lore.
Wait,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy-
With the AIDS shot, you mean?
It wasn't an AIDS shot. He had Suge Knight had a couple girls that he kept incubated. Let's use the word.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he would just be like, "Here's some bitches for my boy."
Interesting.
Okay.
Enjoy.
but- okay, there's some logistical problems with that. One, it turns out it's very hard to get HIV.
Almost
from.
impossible.
Yeah. Two.
Really?
Without
to
anal, yeah.
cultivate,
Yeah.
to cultivate.
Well, the government made it to get rid of the gays.
Now that I 100% believe that. For
but
sure, yeah.
here's
It was
why
like
I have a hard
their
time
crack.
believing that.
That was Fauci,
but
right?
All
Didn't
these
Fauci
guys
make
are
that?
gay, though. That's the thing. To get rid of the gays, all of them. And I mean, if Obama, I make love to men in my mind. If you're going to be
That's
successful,
kind of gay, bro. I'm sorry. That's kind of gay.
There's
Make-
no-
like, I'd rather you just fuck a man.
Yeah,
Like-
that's less gay. You're right.
No.
That is less gay
Hold on,
to
hold on, hold
physically
on.
fuck a guy.
Dude, you know how they love
Very true.
they love ancient Greece and
Yeah.
Aristotle's and Rome and
Yeah.
all that. Gay is a thing that got made up in the 50s as a phrase. It's really not a thing. You could fuck a man, okay, and that's a homosexual act. That is a marketing. Now I'm fine with the term, but that is a marketing term, very recent in history. That without fail, people look back on history and go, "Were they gay?" No one was gay. Some motherfuckers use holes other people didn't use. They didn't have those terms.
So, all right, so you're
So you're already
saying it's
thinking-
not gay if you fuck a guy's asshole.
I know it's fucking weird
Well,
as shit because I'm not into that.
There's still bachabazi today.
No,
that?
I'm saying to be into that, okay? Now, everybody I knew from growing up, there's all these kids that seemed really gay. And we weren't that nice to them about it, I have to say. The girls were nicer to them about it, you know? And clearly they were gay, and we weren't
Yeah.
pubescent yet. They didn't. Okay, so
Well,
I've
BJ
just seen
is
that
a-
that's a thing you don't choose. However, there's another thing. Why would you not be out at this point in history when there's a gay parade every 5 seconds?
That does not make
That's
any
odd.
sense.
Because
Right?
it's a
That doesn't make
power
any
thing.
sense. Yeah.
It is a power thing for certain people, like your William F. Buckley Jr.
Oh
that
yeah, Diddy.
gay-ass
I mean Diddy,
motherfucker.
right? I mean, you got you
Or
have your
Diddy, all of them. And where do they do it? In frats. These weird. What do you hear about fraternity hazings? Depending on where you're at.
Yeah,
Gay.
it's all gay stuff. Yeah.
That goes back to the Templars.
Yeah.
And if you look up Tracy Twyman, I would look at her. Her thing is the most fascinating shit I think I've found ever.
Pause the show and look up Tracy.
It's. I don't even know how to get into that, but
If
she
I
found
were
all the
watching this
Templar shit.
podcast, I would this would take me 11 hours. I would be so fucking.
I would have
into
already
it.
crashed my
I
car
know.
by now.
I would pause this, and the rabbit holes I would go. This would be
Yeah.
the most incredible.
This is how people
hour.
end up living underneath the I-35 bridge. It's because they start listening to Kurt and they're like, I can't go anywhere until I figure
Thank God
all
for
this fucking shit out.
podcasts. If
Yeah.
not for podcasts, we would have been
I
standing on
haven't
the
driven
corner
a car
in
in 20
Manhattan.
years because of this.
Yeah,
No, I haven't driven
Yeah.
20 years too, so that's.
I think it's how much time? Don't they have a
pedophilia.
show?
I mean, you got
I gotta
When do we got? Yeah, we
I
gotta
don't
get
have
out
time
of
for
here.
this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
okay,
Trajan,
so-
Emperor Trajan would have little. He called them his little minnows. He'd have like
his fish.
infants, his little
That's-
fishies. He'd have infants.
Yeah.
He'd be in a pool, and their job
Wow.
was to, swim up underneath them naked and like nibble on his testicles. That was their.
You know, like
you
a
know,
fish
Don't knock it
does.
till you try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, last time Nathan Reynolds was on Tony Merkel's podcast, and fucking Tony Merkel had this Jonathan Kahn psychopath on, which is very. But watch Nathan Reynolds talking about his experience. He every time I see a guy, there's a bunch of threads to look that check out. Okay, I obviously the more fantastical ones I can't check out, but there's eerie fucking shit that you will find correlations to. But he talked about somebody called the Ophites that he saw as a kid, and or Ophites. I don't know how you spell Ophites.
Oh, Ophelia.
No, it's Ophites or Ophites. They're a Gnostic serpent worshipping sect that you'll see because Gnosticism kind of like a catch-all term that you'll see thrown around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it means
Yeah.
like knowledge that you pull that from inside your own asshole.
Yeah.
If I had to sum up what
But
it
my,
means.
my question is, one, why
Gnosis.
the secrecy? They have all the power. Why the secrecy?
Because if you found out what the fuck they're into, the Rizzler and the whole, who's that family?
Not
that
the
eats-
Rizzler.
Yeah, the Rizzler. That family, that
Not
fat
the
fucks.
Rizzler.
that
The
eat-
boom with the weird
Yeah,
eyebrows.
the boom people, they throw their strombolis down and rip these people apart like a zombie movie.
Whoa.
It's that fucking bad. So they could never tell you the truth. And that's the thing. This is why, because I don't say I'm Christian, but like, I don't know how I will get the superpower of forgiveness so that you would have to have. The whole thing rests on nothing can be forgiven. The whole evilness of the system. So
Well, that sounds like liberalism for sure. Going back to like
that nothing can be forgiven?
that. There is no forgiveness.
There's a
in-
nihilism to it for sure, and you can never
For
be
sure.
pure enough.
Yeah.
You make a good point. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I mean, I'm a progressive guy in that like I believe no one should go to.
Well, you can cut your dick off and go about in the street.
Well, I'm not that
shrieking.
progressive, but I just feel like you shouldn't go into medical debt for cancer. I'm
Sure.
just a basic like we should be able to
Yo,
solve that.
It's their fault. Cancer. People didn't used to get lung cancer like that. Do you know that? It was a very rare thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Once they
it's- right.
invented that simian HB something virus to increase bioavailability for fucking vaccines in the 60s, cancer shot the fuck up. How come in France they smoke and they don't get cancer?
Yeah.
They
Something should
fucking
we should we
did
should
that
do,
shit.
We
And
should do
I
something
don't know
about
why
that.
anybody has a hard time believing anything. Just pick out a bad thing, and it's whatever that you've seen your government do to other people. They not only did it to you, they're gonna do it to you.
Yeah.
The people, this bullshit of like, hey, roll tanks over, whatever. If they do it over there, they're gonna do it over here.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
It's a
I
fact.
agree
you
with.
gotta agree with shit. Time
Well-
will show you that.
No, I think that makes sense. But to deal with people who have cancer right now, I think it is inhuman to just let
Ivermectin,
them.
I would try.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, did you know that not only is it not horse based, but there's several studies showing it helps prevent cancers.
Now I believe that, and that's another thing that makes me. Whenever the media
I'm not
is
a
mad
doctor.
about something, it makes me curious about
We
it.
covered
Like,
it
it
for
must
3
be
fucking
something.
years, dude.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
op of making it look
Didn't
like
it win a Nobel Peace Prize?
It did.
Ivermectin. That's
Nobel,
insane.
Not a Peace
Nobel
Prize.
Science, yeah.
A what?
But-
Nobel Prize in Science.
Okay, yeah.
So it's very, and so I remember having a mindset where I could not accept this very idea, but once it was no longer under a patent
Right.
and dropped down to cheap, the pharmaceutical companies can't have that.
And that's the
Yeah.
evil. That's what I'm talking about. I don't
And
understand
people can't
who
understand, and this is what you gotta get.
love
it's not
pharmaceutical
incompetence. It's even if it was just greed, that would be Satanism in and of itself, whether they say it or not. But don't worry,
greed plays a big part.
these
of it.
people believe they came from fucking Atlantis and shit. The Scientology of the people that are
I believe that. I just mean like to the normal human policy part of this conversation is what makes me less
Everything
of a
else is cattle.
conservative.
look, everybody's got the reason they love Indian bullshit. The Brits and the fucking like classy Americans love Indian because they worship cows and everybody
No,
knows their
I
fucking
feel that.
place.
But where do you stand on like on I guess healthcare in that sense? Where
I'm against healthcare. For any
Clearly.
no one.
no one should have.
I'm
it,
all
yeah.
alone here in my camp.
This is a significant pivot from where we're headed right now, but I don't believe in a great society. If you're going to spend trillions of dollars on death, you can spend trillions of dollars on health.
Yes,
You show me
right.
the incentive, and I will show you the outcome. We spend so much on the military-industrial complex. We could just as easily spend it on
Exactly.
healthcare. But they
4
don't-
failing policies in a
they-
row you could buy.
But they don't want us. You got to understand. My crazy conspiracy theory is talk about the very rich people, the rich elites. These people don't believe they're going to die. Genuinely, they think that they can figure
They
out.
also think you're a different race than them. Do you understand that?
I do understand that. I get
some,
it.
well, some of
Well,
us
I mean-
are. I mean, am I right?
No.
Trey.
No. Listen, it's a hard time to be white. You guys.
Yeah, we had a good 10,000-year run, but the
Yeah,
last-
you guys had a good
Those
run,
are
yeah.
handed down designations. The people that think they're a different race than you, they're called the serpent race. I
Right.
didn't make that up. That's the fucking all the secret fraternal gay societies.
Yeah.
That's the serpent race. The O fights that I
Yes.
brought up.
No, but
Apparently-
you should be able to get rid of medical debt, though,
Well,
right?
the concept of race, just so we know, it was a marketing ploy. It
Yeah.
was sub-Saharan.
Your whole life is marketed to you,
It's-
and that's the magic
So
right there.
when these tribes were being conquered by their own people, and then the Portuguese and the Jews came down, and they were like, we got a market for this thing. See, slavery,
Well, that was fucking racist and anti-Semitic, and I'm not sure how, but I'm gonna look it up.
but
done.
the yeah,
You're done. You're canceled.
When-
Portuguese and the Jews.
when
Go
Tom,
on.
when Tom Brady watches film, everybody's like, "Wow, that guy can pick up tendencies." When I do it, it's racist and anti-Semitic. But
Your very concepts of a national state or a fucking ethnicity, that's poor people shit. to
But they're
the
also
people
it's
that
also
is
run
poor
very
people,
it's
right,
also very
yeah.
new. Even when we talked about before
Yes.
the Roman Empire, it was a trade federation. It's not a state the way that it's not a country the way that we would consider. One of my favorite things in history is when Justinian survived the plague because of his whore wife, who's awesome, Theodora, one of the greatest fucking yeah. Well,
What do you
read,
mean?
Read
Why?
read a book, Kurt.
Yeah, come on, Kurt.
No, I didn't. Like stories of not bagging it and surviving, I would make a point. to.
Well,
Yeah.
Theodora is one of the greatest. I can't believe there's not been a movie made about Theodora. She was literally a
Her pussy
whore,
cures
and she
the
ended
plague?
up being no. So there was in the Eastern Roman Empire, or just the Roman Empire. They didn't consider themselves Eastern and Byzantine. That's all fucking bullshit. War propaganda from the Pope and Charlemagne. They just considered themselves Roman, right? So the Roman Empire, Justinian is the Roman emperor, and there's an uprising, and he's like, "We got to leave. This is crazy." And Theodora was like, "Fuck that. I was a whore on the streets. I got no problem dying as an empress in the in the palace."
Makes sense.
And her strength, and also the general she was fucking behind his back, Belisarius, ended up subduing the mob in the crowd, and then Justinian became this new kind of Roman celebrity, and he went west to try. He got it in his head. How can I be the Roman emperor if Rome is not even in my empire? I have to reestablish Rome, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, when Rome fell, when people say Rome fell, Rome wasn't even the capital on either side. It was Ravenna. It wasn't Rome. I'm going to get off on a whole tangent. The long story, boring.
We wouldn't want that.
Yeah. So he goes west.
Yeah.
And he's going and he's re-annexing these old Roman providences.
Right.
And coming back and being like, congratulations, you are now part of the Roman Empire again. And these people who were just like farmers living in the lands of what modern Croatia would be were like, wait, Rome fell? Who the fuck have we been paying taxes to? This is crazy. Like, they had no concept. It had been 70
so
years
funny.
since Rome fell, and now Justinian's coming by and is like, welcome back into the Roman Empire. And these guys were like, what the fuck
No, that's
are you
so funny.
talking
Nobody
about?
told
When
me.
were we not Roman?
That's like with
They didn't have
Juneteenth.
Tim Pool back then.
Temple in his
Yeah.
beanie.
It was Civil War.
The beanie of truth.
The concept, right? We talked earlier about tribalism and forced
Yeah.
multiculturalism and all this other shit, right? It didn't matter race. That you would have the Visigoths and the Ostrogoths.
Yeah.
And they would fucking murder each other over which side of the river you were allowed to live on. Right?
So, yeah, it seems like we haven't strayed that
Look,
far.
I got to
from
find
that.
more grateful employees to have any money at all. I mean, I shouldn't even have to pay them, but liberals said I can't just have you.
Yeah, you don't get to buy humans anymore. You just have to rent them for
I mean,
8 hours at a
by
time.
the way, I still
Yeah, you should
do
at
that.
We've got it down
Yeah.
to renting at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen,
They
I
should
still have
get bathroom
slaves, but I
breaks.
just also don't want to pay you.
Which,
Yeah,
going
yeah.
back to Aristotle, his argument was that there are people that cannot fend for themselves. They would be destroyed. They would be conquered. They would be so by giving them something to do and feeding them and giving them a home, it's actual charity that you're doing, right?
Spoken
Like that's
like a true lizard.
that was
Well,
Aristotle's position on it.
I think.
Go look up, Lyndon
think,
LaRouche's fuck. I don't know what Lyndon LaRouche's plank of he fucking hates Aristotle, but I love it. Well, go look it up. It's great.
Well,
All
everybody
these
can look at that.
creeps Are, dude, fuck Plato.
Yeah.
Every one of these guys, by the way, is a AC-doocy fucking Obama.
AC
motherfucker.
Doocy.
Plato would have fucked you up though. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
Plato was an Olympic wrestler. Used to just flex
Well,
on
I have
people.
a hemorrhoid.
It means wide.
Okay, it's
Plato
not gonna
just
be a
means
good time
wide.
for
That was
you.
his nickname.
Look,
He's
I know
basically
you
Bane.
gotta. I know you guys gotta go, but I appreciate you guys. I mean, we could go another
But
4 hours.
fuck
but
all
please-
that shit. Like,
Yeah.
like at the end of the day,
Right.
there's always a caste system
Yeah.
where somebody goes. So this is what I will go. I won't get on board with nobody's thing where a bunch of people are cattle. Stop doing that to them. And the people that did that to them should be fucking paying them for what they did. They put fluoride in your water. Remember the craziest conspiracy of my uncle that would be crazy generation.
Yeah.
Was
Ozone
fluoride.
layer.
Yeah.
Hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah.
Well, but fluoride is the one that I would dismiss up until just now when it turns out, no, it is. There's no reason it should have been in the water ever.
Is that right?
It's chemical waste from the DuPonts. It's good
Is
for
it,
your
yeah?
teeth to swish it around and spit it out.
Got you.
But on the average, the IQ points are lower.
And
like-
destroys your testosterone too, apparently, right? Like
Yeah.
it's,
well, the plastics. Look, it's way more now. But I mean, I don't know. I grew up with all that fucking shit, but
speaking of that, can I have one of those?
Oh, you can-
yeah, yeah.
I had
Raise my
gypsy moth
testosterone.
poison on my head every day.
Yeah.
Every day they put gypsy moth poison on the way to school, and you'd feel the shit rain down on you, and it would like sting, and you'd feel sick. And there'd be
6?
dead
Good math.
moths.
6s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, nicotine helps cancer as well.
Oh, it helps.
I don't know if getting
According
it
to
this way-
Dr. Drew, he told us that nicotine is actually good for you. It's
That's
neurotropic,
fucking
but it's
crazy.
everything else in the cigarette, it's everything else in the tobacco that is carcinogenic and it's very bad for you. But so the nicotine pouches are derived from an inedible cabbage. They derive the nicotine from a cabbage.
Okay.
Whoever
So it's healthy.
Whoever came to
I
this
don't think it
podcast
is.
for
It's probably
sarcasm
gonna
and dick
be-
jokes, you fucking
I used to vape.
get a PhD here.
Okay, it's better than vaping, I guess, but I'm sure I'm dying for. I don't give a shit.
We're all
Yeah.
dying.
Old
Who cares?
now.
Yeah.
What happens when you die, Kurt?
I don't know what happens when you die.
Do you think there's an afterlife?
I think that the story in that. So if you ever see people talk about in the Adam and Eve story, and Eve eats the fruit, and God said you will die the day you eat it, but she doesn't die. Okay, and read Tracy Twyman because she had an even better thing that I could ever come up with. But I think that we don't know what the fuck death is, and much like gender, it might be a spectrum.
Oh, that's actually
Death
that makes
spectrum.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and because how she described it was the first serpent, the Nahash, the serpent, which is not Satan. and whatever, the serpent could mean a lot of fucking things, but it's an initiation into mystery schools. So the mystery of what death is, she got initiated. So what I think is there's like degrees of shit, and you
That
don't
makes
necessarily.
sense. Yeah.
That's why I don't interdimensional. I'm like, what is it? The fucking dimension? I thought dimension is an extra direction you can move in, and not a parallel universe. But everybody says it like it's a
Well,
parallel.
it's up and down, right? The Hindu idea is
Up, down, left,
higher
right,
levels and lower
and
levels
then
of consciousness.
some other one that you can't do. So I could easily see that being true. Okay, or supernatural. Like if it's a thing, it's real. It's natural. It's not supernatural. Those
Yeah.
are all like stupid words. They're like
feel
idea
that.
prisons. To
That's a
contain these
great
things.
way to
And-
put it.
and-
Idea prisons. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you could comic or whatever, you're creative, you could. Comics do it all the time, make up their own fucking shit. A lot of comics, jokes I remember, are things I found out were real things.
Shucky Ducky.
Because Shucky Ducky tried to warn
Hamburger.
us.
Shucky Ducky.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
I can't believe this. The most referenced comedian.
Yeah. All right. Tell everybody where they can find you
The
guys.
Derp with
man.
Curb podcast I do
Derp
every
with
week.
Perp. Derp with Perp.
I had I had Sir Walter he's not a sir, but he's Walter Bosley, who wrote about NIMSA and the Sonora Aerospace Club. The airship mysteries
Yes.
of that guy found wild shit. They had this tech probably a long time ago, dude.
Wow.
Damn.
Well,
That's
if you could go outside of time, so like, oh, are they us from the future? If you could actually move like that, that's not a thing, dude. Maybe they're from the past.
Well, that's Tucker Carlson's whole thing with like interdimensional demons and all this other shit. He's like, so we went from horseback we were on horseback
Yes.
for 10,000 years. Then we figured out the combustion engine, and it's cool. We got the combustion engine, and then we're in fucking outer space 30 years later, and we have
Something
supercomputers that can, it's like,
Yo,
wait,
watch Charles
what
Hall's-
happened here?
Dude,
Like,
Yeah.
Watch the Charles Hall thing about it, because he said the one they went up in, those Tic Tac craft, the tall
Yeah.
whites, there were generals that were watching them go in their shitty craft. And he said he saw when the thing landed, the generals were like rolling around laughing on the ground because they were in space. That whole thing was a show. And I don't think we didn't go to the moon because supposedly we put a Scottish Rite Masonic flag on the moon along with the American flag.
really.
At the end of the day,
It's funny, you were talking
always
about Bird
circles back
before.
to
You were
gay
talking about
people.
Bird
they
before.
all,
What was the
Yeah.
name of the admiral that flew over Antarctica?
they're not related like that. However, the guy that owned the book depository was Admiral Byrd's brother.
Is that right?
That's right.
No shit.
Dark journalist, dude.
Man, where can they find you? What's your
Gerard
plot?
versus Evil, guys. Gerard versus Evil. It's Gerard, the white way. Versus
the
Evil.
white way.
Yeah,
the white
check me
way?
out.
Did you say the white way?
Yeah, the white. The
That's so
white.
funny,
The
the
white.
white.
The,
It
yeah, the
seems like
Irish
you're
way.
implying
No.
evil is. I don't want to say.
No.
Not at all.
Thank you guys so much. Man, I hope you guys come back, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
and
right
everybody,
over
I want a full report. Everybody that watched this to the end, go ahead and link a full report to what you learned.